Hello, my name is Catherine Duckhorn, and this is going to be my exploratory presentation. I'm going to start off by comparing and contrasting the achievements of two of the great civilizations.
So I'm going to start off by comparing and contrasting
the two
the achievements
civilizations I
of two
chose
of the great
were the
civilizations
early Indian
covered in the first four
civilization and
modules.
Roman
The
civilization.
two civilizations that I chose were the early Indian civilization and the early Roman civilization.
Lasted until
The
about
foundation
300
of the Indian
CE.
society lasted until about 300 CE.
Some major components of this
Some of the main
were the land and its first settlers, the Aryans during the Vedic age,
of this chapter
India's
were the land and its first settlers,
Western contact
the Aryans
and the
during the
Mauryan
Vedic
unification
age,
of North
India's
India,
great religions,
and small states and
Western
trading
contact
networks.
and the Mauryan unification of North India.
So some of the
small states and
achievements
trading
of the
networks.
Indian civilization were
some of the
there
major
were large cities
achievements
with
of
kiln-dried
this
brick
Indian
buildings. They had
civilization
sewers and they had straight streets,
are that
which was an improvement from
the large cities
civilizations before this time.
Were full of kiln-dried brick buildings.
They had sewers and they had straight
streets.
Spears.
The Aryan warrior tribes fought
an
using chariots and bronze swords and spears.
Using wooden tools and things that they used to.
This is where the first stages of the Indian caste system are seen,
arose during this time.
And basically this is just
which is
where warriors and priests were ranked above merchants, artisans,
people like merchants,
farmers,
artisans,
people like that.
farmers.
The Vedas,
document the
were
religious
created
ideas
during
of
this time.
Age
they document the religious ideas of this age. This is where three of India's major religions emerged. So
Jainism,
the three major religions are Jainism, Buddhism, and Hinduism. So Jainism focuses on the people living ascetic lives, avoid harming living things, renouncing evil thoughts and actions.
Buddhism taught a path to liberation that involved freeing themselves from desires, avoiding violence, and gaining insight.
Hinduism validated sacrifice and the caste system and developed devotional practice. During this time, contact with the Persians and Greeks influenced new ideas, political techniques, and art styles. And the use of money was introduced as well.
And the use of money was introduced.
The Roman civilization lasted from 1000 BCE to 400 CE approximately.
The early Roman civilization lasted from about 1000 BCE to 400
some major
CE.
Occurrences during this time
of
included Roman expansion and its repercussions, Roman expansion and its repercussions, the coming of Christianity and the turmoil and reform,
the coming of Christianity and turmoil and reform.
In a series of wars, the Romans conquered the Mediterranean.
So through a series of wars, the Romans conquered the Mediterranean. That was a big achievement for them.
This made an overseas empire that brought wealth and power as well as a civil war.
Overseas empire that brought wealth and power.
Results to this.
It also brought
Julius
a civil
Caesar
war.
ruled during this time. He was assassinated because a lot of people didn't like him.
During this time, Julius
and
Caesar
eventually
ruled.
His grandnephew Augustus restored the peace.
Eventually, his grandnephew Augustus
Rome became the capital of the empire during this time.
Rome became the capital of the empire.
There was a large growth of agriculture,
and
industry, and trade connections.
Sparked a lot of growth in agriculture and industry and trade. And Christianity also spread across the empire during this time. Next, I'm going to be explaining what I think the criteria are for a great civilization. So obviously, a stable food supply. So I think the first thing is a stable food supply. Food and nutrients. Without nobody having food and nutrients, nobody can function. Nobody can participate in society. Quicker and easier.
A social structure is the
number one
priority
for a great civilization.
Be present in a great civilization.
Social structure is also really important.
Everything's
for
just
a great civilization.
People are going to be doing whatever they want.
I think
this goes hand in hand with a system of government
structure and have rules.
People
and
need to be held accountable.
Hand in hand with having a system of government in place.
Order.
People need to be held accountable
in the civilization,
for their actions,
and everything just runs a lot smoother.
Makes everything run smoother.
I think religion is important for a great civilization.
For a great civilization.
It doesn't really matter what religion it is, but
which religion
for people
it is,
to have
but just having a set of morals and beliefs,
like a set of morals and rules that they live by, I think definitely will enhance society because people they are held accountable. Highly developed culture, I think, is important in civilization.
Really important for a great civilization.
I think culture is
kind of like the definition
very
of a civilization.
Important.
Advances in technology
Advances in technology.
Also vital to be constantly
also important to constantly
forward and
moving forward
and
making advances.
And then a highly developed written language, spoken
written language, written spoken
obviously crucial to having a successful
very important
civilization. Next, I'm going to be talking about what ways
the 21st century ideas differ from the two ancient civilizations that I chose, the Roman Empire and the
Roman
Indian
civilization.
So public bathing and shared toilets were very popular back then.
In the ancient civilizations.
Nowadays,
compared to nowadays,
private bathrooms
and
showers
and toilets, restrooms are
common,
very popular.
In the earlier civilizations, there was not a lot of
back in ancient
knowledge about
they did not have a lot of
disease
processes on diseases and science really
all around. So malaria, leprosy, smallpox, those
all the diseases
rampant and
killed a lot of
lots
people.
And lots of people.
Whereas nowadays
we have vaccines, we have a lot
basic
of
knowledge,
such as washing your hands
to prevent infections.
Things like that to help us.
There was also
healthy.
a difference in the way males and females were
back
treated.
In the ancient civilizations,
only males could vote.
Normally, only males
they
could
had
vote,
a lot more privileges
and do many other things.
Nowadays, for the most part,
now
men and women are treated equally
for the most part in most civilizations.
Education was also focused on men.
Back in the ancient civilizations,
also on
education was also
could afford it.
Often for males only, or for only wealthy
education
people.
Has a lot of equal
now,
opportunity.
Almost everyone has an equal opportunity to be educated.
It was harder back in the ancient civilizations.
It was harder to move up socially. Whereas nowadays
you can
get to work really hard and get to wherever you want to be.
Lastly, I'm going to be talking about what makes a society great, just to elaborate a little more.
And my last slide,
so I think
just to elaborate a little more,
is
on
also
what makes
very important to make a
great.
society.
I think equality is very important. People who are treated fairly and have equal opportunity are more likely to
more capable
contribute
and
to
more
society
to contribute
they
to
can
society
and they feel like they're being
respected and they feel like a part of that group.
I think democracy is very important as well.
Democracy is very important
individual
as well.
freedoms
this
and rights.
Guarantees individual
and then
freedoms
sustainability
and rights.
Is also really important
and sustainability
because it improves
is
the
also
quality
very
of our
important.
lives and it also protects our resources for future
this
generations.
Improves the quality of our lives and it also protects our resources for future generations.